All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome into the Coach and Company podcast. We are here to support the morning show. Hopefully, you guys caught some of it, if not all of it. If you didn't, you can always catch it on demand on YouTube, or you can go back on my social media page. We're here every single weekday. We continue to grow. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that right now. Turn on your notifications and like and share the show and the page as we continue to grow. Now, the man joining me today, as we just chop up 2 or 3 topics, we never go longer than 20 or 30 minutes tops, my man, Mikey P. Mikey, they call Wednesday hump day for a reason, because in the normal work week, you're like, man, Monday's there, but Friday's still all the way down there. It's hump day to kind of get over the hump. But now we've reached the time of the year where every single day there's something. The NHL kicked off on Tuesday. We have our first middle of the week college football tonight. We have the NBA starting next Tuesday, NFL, college football, WNBA finals, I think, and a few other things. This is Christmas 2.5 months early. Are you ready for it?
49 straight days of football. I am a very happy man in my personal life. I am not sure that my other half will be very happy on day 50 from right now. I couldn't be happier. I legitimately could not be happier. I'm so excited for what's ahead. Not just in football, but like you said, baseball playoffs are here. Basketball is around the corner. And I guess Tuesday afternoon hockey is here as well. Who doesn't love that?
I don't know what the reason was for that, but I was thinking as I compare it to other sports, and I was like, what if you went to the Philadelphia Eagles and you said, hey, still get the Thursday game, still get the Cowboys, still get to roll it out, get your rings, all of it. 4:25 start time on Sunday, week 1. That's essentially what they did to the Florida Panthers yesterday. Or you're playing a World Series game. Hey, guys, I know it's a Wednesday, 4 o'clock start. We don't need the lights. We don't need the moon. We don't need that crisp fall air. I don't even know what the reason was other than they had a triple header and it made sense to be the first game.
I don't know if it did make sense because you took on the Chicago Blackhawks, and the Blackhawks have a very dedicated fan base. So what's everyone doing? Calling out of work at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday? Yeah, I wonder where you guys are going. Don't worry, I see the sports schedule. It made no sense. On the East Coast in Florida, it's 5:08. All right, well, everyone out the door at 4:58. Like, let's get real. That made no sense. You had a Pittsburgh Rangers game that followed it. Just put that one on early. Just put that one on early.
That wouldn't have been the first one. You got to be the first one. Nobody knows who the first one is on October 7th. Nobody. All right, so we had a couple other stories that kind of popped off the last couple of days. And, Mikey, I'm all for drama, and I'm all for things off the field popping off. But when you have fans that are screaming at Baker Mayfield as they're standing in the tunnel getting ready to go out, that kind of video, I'm here for it. And just watching it. And then at the end, talking trash when you lose, interesting topic for the fans. But when you got an 82-year-old dude who says his best attribute is borrowing money as the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and with a middle finger, which is about this long. He's got like tiny, tiny hands, Mikey. I didn't realize how small the hands of Jerry Jones is. He flips off and then points to the fan from the skybox at the Meadowlands on Sunday. Do you think Jerry Jones also will get a fine at some point from the NFL?
Oh, he did.
Oh, he did already? How much was it?
I believe it was $250,000.
Oh, $250,000. That's right. I thought it was going to come today. You're right. $250,000. That was the whole point for me bringing it up. And then Jonathan Gannon, $100,000 in Arizona. Does $250,000 does that even touch Jerry Jones? Does he even notice that that's gone?
Well, that's why he traded Micah Parsons, right? To have some fine money in his back pocket. I'm just shocked that Jerry Jones at 82 years old understood how his hands and fingers work still and was able to actually get his middle finger up that high. Yeah. I don't know what he was pointing at, but I don't even know if it was a football thing. It may have just been a I'm richer than you, middle finger to the sky type of thing. Because, listen, the Cowboys are better than advertised and expected a few weeks into the season. But I think Jerry Jones, he might be like, hey, Grandpa, you can't say that anymore. You can't do that anymore. If you do it one more time, we got to take you to the home.
I'm just trying to figure out, because every now and then it's kind of fun to do this, certainly on a podcast when you have time to elaborate a little bit more. But what do you think it's like in a meeting with the Cowboys currently? Because I was taught by Vince McMahon, because I asked him one time, because he's a billionaire, and I said, you know, why do you still come to shows? Why do you do all of these different things? And he looked at me, he says, Coach, you can only count your money for so long. He goes, it does me no good to sit there and look at how many zeros I have in my bank account. So having that knowledge from another billionaire, and Jerry Jones has done nothing other than increase the value of his team. But Mikey, how is that satisfying for a billionaire owner just to increase the value when all you're doing is looking at zeros, but you're never successful in getting a Super Bowl? Do you think that he is in complete denial about where he is and where they are?
100,000% he's in denial. And for Jerry Jones, I think it's all ego, right? You can say that about every billionaire. It's
Yep.
all ego. But you know what? As the young kids like to say, good for Jerry for standing on business, right? You trade Micah Parsons, you allow his agent to still come to the game, his mom to come to the game, even when he's not a part of the team. And then every single week, you're still meeting with the media. So as much as we can really hate on Jerry Jones, at least he's still putting his face into the spotlight. There are so many owners who are like, I'm going to turn this thing around. Hey, Coach, you know why I say that? Because I am a Chicago Bears fan who has listened to Ryan Poles say, when he got hired, we're going to get in here and we're going to take back the North. I don't think the Bears have more than 5 division wins since he said that 3 years ago. So there's a few times where you want to see your head figures in your franchise really step up to their comments, and I give Jerry Jones credit at least for that.
The other thing that as a great leader you have to do, if you slam your head against the wall over and over and over for 28 years, I might add, and we're not even talking there's never been an opportunity to put a chip on the mantle in the last 28 years. They didn't even get close in the last 28 years. At some point, Mikey, you've got to look yourself in the mirror, especially if you're 82 years old, and say, man, I may not have that many more seasons left to even come to these games, let alone be on this side of the dirt. So why hasn't he changed anything? Because it's still him, his son, and his son may be the smartest cap guy ever. I don't know, but he's his son. And at this point, he's insulated because his daughter is like the chief marketing officer for the team. So you can't even get to him to try to get him to understand he's got to bring in other really smart people to put a team together, because he's great at drafting players. He's got good players, but it doesn't mean it's a great team, right?
Yeah, and I think this needs to be all like I'm joking, but I'm not. This seriously needs to be when his son and daughter step up. And I understand this is daddy's baby, right? This is dad's everything. This is what dad built his legacy off of. But he gave you guys roles in the company, not just because you're his boy and girl, but because he believes in you. That's why you've kept that job. We've seen sons and daughters. I don't need to tell you, Coach. We've seen sons and daughters get into business and then get pushed out of said business. So for the son and daughter of Jerry Jones, they just need to go, Dad, why don't you just sit back and enjoy? We're not even going to sell it, right? You just don't have to do anything. You can sit on the 10th floor of your mansion and watch the games, and we'll come back to you with the financial reports after. That's all he has to do.
He wouldn't last 2 years. I've said this about look at some great, like, let's say football coaches. Bobby Bowden quits. Joe Paterno, obviously there were issues there, but done. And I feel like I'm going to be this way. Everybody talks about retirement and stopping working because that's what Americans do when you put in a whole lifetime of work. But if you really love, I mean, Mikey, I could sit here and talk sports with you for the next 30 years, and the thought never gets old to me. Now, if I was working a 9 to 5, blue collar, or even sitting at a desk, I would not say that, because I wouldn't want to sit there for the next 30 years. And the same could be said for coaches. Or, I mean, if you're standing on the sidelines at Alabama and you're Nick Saban, the only thing that pushed him out was NIL. It wasn't the love of the game, because that never gets old. I don't understand the process of, well, you're 65, you're 70, you got to be done. Because I won't be done as long as somebody wants me on. And I think once you're done, you get done very quickly after that, meaning life.
Even with that, I think when people know you're done, sometimes the ultimate respect is when people know you're done, but won't push you out. And I look at like the Fox broadcast crew, Jimmy Johnson, Terry Bradshaw, their Sunday morning pregame show. Okay, we're seeing Tom Brady come in studio. We're seeing Gronk there. Strahan's there. I mean, the guys in charge, Terry, Jimmy. I know Jimmy's gone now, but no one is saying that they had to be forced out. And Terry Bradshaw stumbles over every other word he says, but we still love him because he's everyone's favorite Terry Bradshaw. So for me, you earn respect to stay on for as long as you want to stay on, unless you're hurting the business.
Yep. Lee Corso stayed on until 90 earlier this year. Terry Bradshaw, he was annoying me for several years. And then you know how I am, Mikey, about my trash TV and reality shows and things of that nature. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Terry Bradshaw had a reality show. I don't know what channel it was on, but I watched every episode. He has 3 daughters that are featured on said show. And I became a Terry Bradshaw fan. I was like, this is not a show. He really is as goofy as they come. And he lives in Oklahoma. And this is where, like, when the business started to change, when I was like, wait a second, he lives in Oklahoma, but he works in LA, and planes and COVID and remote equipment has changed the business. I mean, look, you and I are doing a show, and you live in Missouri and I live in California. And so watching him navigate and just trying to get to work was entertaining in itself. So
Well,
now, do I like him calling the highlights? No, he's terrible at it. But that's his thing, right? That's his thing.
you talk about trash TV, coach. I think I'm going to have to one up you. I don't have much going on until our premium pop up tonight. I think I'm
Okay.
going to spend my afternoon watching the Sylvester Stallone reality show that he had on Paramount Plus, because I thought it was just Rocky.
Don't do it. If you want to watch Sly Stallone in something, what do you watch? Tulsa King?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Tulsa King.
I love it, but seeing his daughters be like, "Dad, do you want to go to dinner?" I don't know. Do we want to go to dinner? Where do you want to go? Like, Mom, what did Dad just say? I want to see that side of Sly.
Every time it comes up on my Paramount Plus when I'm going to watch Tulsa King, I look at it because how they put the algorithm together, and I, gosh, just don't even hit one episode. Do not do it. Don't do it. And I haven't done it yet. I haven't pulled the finger of doom. But oh my goodness, I get sucked into reality shows so much. I got sucked into, there's a reality show of a young lady who has Tourette's syndrome, and she's now getting she just got engaged to her boyfriend, and she is the sweetest, nicest. And I try to have more empathy for people as I get a little bit older. And I watch that. I'm like, man, every time I complain about my life and a few things that I have to deal with, then you watch a show like that, and it's crazy. But not all reality shows are trash. I think your name's Bear Out Loud, I encourage you guys to go watch it. It'll show you the behind the scenes of a really tough disease to live with. But that's a good. Now, also, I've had a connection, Mikey, to the Real Housewives of Orange County. I won't get into the details, but a former relationship may or may not have been offered to be on the show slightly. Do you know why I said I wouldn't? Because they have to have a storyline, right? So since I'm dating that person, this is a couple of years ago, and I had to be willing to be part of the storyline. Do you know one of the guys that's on the show is connected to the bookie? Just on storylines that was dealing with Shohei Ohtani and that whole situation. Just
Cinema.
connected to. What's that?
Cinema. That would have been cinema.
Can you imagine me face to face? I don't even know who that guy is. Literally, there's a picture of you two together. He seems like a good dude, but I didn't want to film with that whole thing, right? Would you have wanted to if they said, hey, you can be on the Real Housewives of Missouri? Would you have filmed?
Coach, I can't even believe you're asking me this because I love chaos. Really quick story. I grew up loving. At first, I hated it because everyone loved it, but then as I got into like my early 20s, I was like, let me see what this Jersey Shore show is all about. And then obviously, you and I have been out in Nashville. Not my scene. Imagine when I lived in New Jersey. Oh, that was my scene. So I take a trip from Chicago to Jersey to see old friends, and they said, hey, we can go to the UFC fights in Long Island, New York. I said, no, we're getting a shore house. I want to go on the shores. I want to go to the shore store. So I go back and forth because I think I meet the woman of my dreams. I'm like, maybe she would be on the show in the future. So I'm going back and forth. I get told that you can wear no shirt and still get service. So I think I'm 200 pounds ripped. I'm like 100 pounds soaking wet. The owner of the shore store, who made the entire Jersey Shore store, goes, hey, Chicago, come here for a second. He goes, my employee said she would go have a drink with you when she gets off work. You got to stop coming in here. This is the 5th time you've been in here. She'll meet you after work.
Wait a second. You stalked an employee at the shore store with
I
the
didn't
dude.
talk.
Dude, 4 times. Okay. 5 is stalking. That's exactly what it is. That's the definition of stalking. So
I was feeling myself.
you were feeling yourself?
I can't get into money.
Feeling yourself is the first trip, and her saying, excuse me, I think you're very attractive. I get off at 5. Would you like to have a drink at the bar next door? Because it's the shore store. And we know there's bars because they've been in all the fights in all of those stores. So that is feeling yourself, not the 5th trip where he tells you to leave and she'll meet you for a drink. Did she meet you for a drink?
What do you think? No, absolutely not. But at least I got
Absolutely
to
not.
go with that. I said, hey, guys, I would have been on Jersey Shore. They go, in the worst possible way.
Correct.
ever."
Correct. Oh my God. Who's that little stalkerish dude over there? Now I did like the shore store owner / manager because he had more patience than any owner I've ever seen in my life. Oh, you guys are only 3 hours late because you were drinking till 4 a.m. We're good with that. Because he knew he didn't want to kick them out. That was the fact that they've been around for 15 years and they're still on, and they just got approved for another season. Maybe the biggest upset in the history of reality television. It might be. They've been on so long that a dude went to prison and got out, and now he's making millions again.
It's
All of
great.
that happened. Oh, I love the situation. He's actually a really good dude. All right, that's going to do it for now. Do not forget, busy day at BTT Studios at 2 o'clock today. Sirius XM channel 156. It's Off the Ropes with the Coach, 2 to 4. If you missed any of the Coach and Bro show on Monday, catch it on demand. We'll be live with that show tomorrow, 2 full hours on the Stadium Network from 10 a.m. to noon. And then tonight, our premium pop-up. If you are not a premium member, I encourage you to do so. We're going to be live betting the hell out of college football, out of baseball as well. It's going to pay for itself in like 1 ticket. So come on over and be a part of what we're doing. For Mikey P, for Producer Man, I am the Coach. We'll see you next time right here. It's Coach and Company, the podcast.